This is Decoy Voice. They said this wasn't happening. And, honestly, there's so much going on in the world. It could be anything at this point.
Spain suddenly saw at least 70,000 Africans rushing over their border. The mainstream media immediately stated most of them left already. When one, it wasn't true, and two, apparently their Red Cross arrived to provide humanitarian aid.
Hang on.
When one, it wasn't true, and two, apparently their Red Cross arrived to provide humanitarian aid. And two, there wasn't true.
Unless this person here is a woman, everything in this line, I'm saying thing to be, you know, pronoun correct. Everything in this line was born as a male. That's how I'll say it. That's how I'll say it.
It wasn't true, and two, apparently their Red Cross arrived to provide humanitarian aid. Of course, it looks nice for them to fly in and temporarily provide food and water to the tens of thousands of migrants now starving in Spain. But like what we said before, if they receive any sort of aid or gain citizenship or shipped into Europe, they're going to upgrade this small humanitarian crisis into a full-blown catastrophe, as more Moroccans see this and immediately begin their trips towards Spain. As what looks to be thousands more arriving at Spain's border. And when we watched the other videos on our livestream channel, Decaf Decoy, it was like a Where's Waldo to see these asylees all dripped out in Gucci hats and designer clothes. As many of them are barefoot, but more of them have Gucci, shouting Allah Akbar while breaking into the country.
No, guy. That's a guy. The one in the blue is a guy.
Where sadly the beaches left behind were trashed, with stacks of their discarded sandals.
And the thing is, because this has been encouraged for so long, there is no way of rectifying it until you actually start. Well, you have to be overly harsh. You have to be overly harsh. It's just how it works. When consequences are there, people learn from knowing that something is bad. Learning that something is bad. But the thing is, when you start allowing people free reign in, everyone sees that as there are no consequences to doing this, so they continue to go in, and guess what? You end up, well, destroying your own nation for allowing this, because borders are there for a reason. Having controlled migration is there for a reason. You don't just allow this stuff to just happen. You don't. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. You're having barbarians come in who know nothing about your nation, obviously, do not care to integrate in your society, obviously, because they're being disrespectful when traveling over. So the only way to course correcting this is to start, well, mass eradication of like certain demographics as they're illegally crossing over. And then eventually other batches will be like, you know what? This is probably a bad idea. Let's apply for a visa. Yes, it might take a while, but that is what the nation wants us to do, so let's just try it that way. It's just like, what the heck? Have a good one, cool. It's like, what the heck? Just follow the laws that are there already. You don't need to break the law.
But that wasn't the worst of it, as Spain's beaches have turned into shanty towns.
With just more boats coming over.
كل شيء هنايا كيجي عند الكروز روخا كاين مخيمات هنايا افريكان صرف سيعملوا مخيمات هنايا كيتبجات هنايا كاين كوزروخه هنايا وسبيطار بحال السبيطار عندنا هنايا خصو شي بندا خصو شي حاجه كيعاونوا الدراري هنايا.
And again, we see emergency services assisting these communities, which on the surface level is helping them, but in the long term is only going to compound these issues as more pull in for these free services. As originally, we saw videos of them burning vehicles on the other side of the border.
I'm from Assam, India, and we have millions of illegal migrants from Bangladesh and a huge problem in Assam. Yeah, it's a massive problem. Guess what? It becomes your responsibility to have, it becomes the state's responsibility to have to tax the citizens in order to pay for the social care and the systems in place, and also the repairs and damages that are caused by these barbarians. And I view anyone that barges into a nation unannounced, I don't care if you're an American crossing a border illegally into Mexico, you're a barbarian if you're doing that. If you're in Mexico illegally crossing into the United States, or a Canadian crossing into America, or an American crossing into, I don't care. You're a barbarian if you're breaking the law in order to travel to a location. You're a barbarian because you're refusing to acknowledge the civil sense that has been instilled in us as human beings. Because guess what? The only thing that allows us to separate ourselves from animals is the ability to actually formulate laws, formulate rules, and have some kind of civil acceptance, civil understanding. When you allow this stuff to happen, civil liberties, civil laws, and go out the window, and you are left with nothing but barbarism. Because obviously, the laws aren't being followed right here. So why should someone care about the laws of something else? You always need to just be 100% honest about everything, 100% transparent about everything, hold everyone accountable for everything, every wrongdoing, you just have to. I don't care how stupid or petty it is, you just have to. We really need to put AI in charge. This is literally a modern day crusade, which is only gonna amplify from here. Yeah, it really is. It really is.
But now, they reportedly began burning things inside of Spain.
No duh.
As it appears they've begun attacking the Spanish, or maybe each other, or possibly both. Pretty sad that zero mainstream media outlets are sharing any of this. Third world looking shantytown gets built, and immediately third world lawlessness ensues. As if the local authorities won't even enforce their own border laws, you're probably not going to see any other policing, let alone stopping them from beating each other, or possibly even the Spanish. As the local citizens are scared.
De mi ciudad, la ciudad en la que me ha parido mi madre.
As the post roughly translates to, I can't go outside alone anymore. They haven't even said anything about the girls who have been OR'd, which I think we found one publication discussing the kid that got OR'd. No information on if it was a Spanish citizen or possibly one of the migrants, but both scenarios are horrible, even
if you say anything, people will call you racist. Why do you care what people say? Just openly talk about it. Openly talk about it. In the end, being honest about something doesn't make you racist. It makes you honest, and it makes other people that are okay with barbarians coming in through the borders the problem. Because all you want is civil sense. There's nothing racist about wanting, people to be held to a certain standard. There's nothing wrong with that, especially in your nation. There's nothing wrong with wanting everyone to be held to a certain standard. Everyone else is racist for wanting to give, oh, these barbarians, they're from this nation, they need our help. You are racist if you think that someone is less than you and they need your help because you're apparently superior to them. No. If they want to go to your nation, they need to be respectful of your nation. It's that simple. If someone wants to come to your house and be a guest in your house, they need to be respectful of the rules of your house. Simple as that. Simple as that. You don't want a guest in your house destroying your plates, destroying your cutlery, destroying your vases, destroying your table. You don't want that in your house. So why would you want that in your nation? It's better to just be honest. Be honest. Who cares if people call you racist? You know that you are right. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Or that they're willing to ignore it. But now, reportedly, there are Spanish vigilantes roaming their streets with large dogs.
They need pigs. Yeah, way too soft. Protects them.
And I can't verify the validity of that video, but then the European media seems to be running with it. As Euronews states, Morocco accuses Spain of assaulting the migrants, saying when 80,000 of them went into Spain, their security forces assaulted and ill-treated some of them, as kids were being insulted and beaten by the hands of extremist groups, blaming Spain for failing to provide the...
Yeah, well, the thing is, it takes the people... When your nation doesn't protect you, when your government isn't protecting you, it's the people's job to take it into their own hands. You should never allow your nation to get to the point where it's the people's job to take to protect their nation in their own hands. Like there's that in the clause of like the Constitution of the United States of America, me as a civilian has the right to defend my nation. The thing is, we can't allow it to get to that point where I have the right to start gunning down invaders for them being illegal and not belonging here. Luckily, it hasn't gotten to that point. It was getting close, but luckily we elected someone who's trying to toss them out. Trying to toss them out. Attempting it. Not everything has been done great, but at least I'm all for that. But that's the thing. It's just like, you don't want your people to have to do the job that you as a government are supposed to do. The government's job is to protect its people. Plain and simple. Pass the laws that the people want for them, not for the barbarians. Don't protect the barbarians. Protect your people. It's that simple.
Kids with adequate care. Circling back to 2022, when 23 died trying to get into Spain, blaming them for keeping their gates closed, which is a tragedy, but really sounds like a hold still while I'm punching.
You know, these differences would never exist if people who felt superior never drew these borders. The borders would exist no matter what. The borders would exist no matter what. Too many ideological differences, too many religious differences, too many philosophical differences, too many whatever you want to put in front of it, differences. Whether you're superior, inferior, whether you're religion, atheist, whatever it is, too many people view the world too differently. There are places in the world that have certain religions as their cornerstone of the entire leadership. So if that's what you enjoy, that's the kind of structure you want, go there. So that way there's like a place for everyone. But yeah, there would always be borders.
You. Yes, over 80,000 of us violated your laws, but shame on you for enforcing them and not giving special treatment to our children. It's almost like they want these atrocities to occur as almost an acceptable sacrifice in order to villainize you for the crime of having borders. But what's worse is when you search the stories in American media, the New York Times at least classifies this as a border disaster, but then immediately goes into conspiracy theories. The Washington Post wrote about how this can be weaponized, but the article is only 2 paragraphs written by 4 reporters, simply stating the crisis may not be over, then attaching an AI-generated synopsis of internet reactions. The mainstream media's attempts to change the narrative.
I think Republican is America's BJP. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I think at this point, centrists are like the future of America. The future of America, the ones that are, because I don't know. I can't say I know entirely about the BJP. I can't speak entirely.
Around immigration is getting increasingly more pathetic, where reading their articles makes you less informed than 6 minutes of seeing first-hand videos posted on social media, as this channel only exists because they won't show you most of this footage, but miraculously, most Americans are waking up to this. As recently, even CNN showed immigration as being the second most important issue, warning their viewers that that ICE agents are about to get electric gloves.
Customs enforcement agents and officers soon may be equipped with gloves that deliver electric shocks. ICE is planning to spend up to $20 million to buy them. The manufacturer says that they are intended to de-escalate encounters.
Good.
Actually demonstrating this on a subject. And look, he does take him down there in about 3 seconds or less. And the gentleman there on the ground is a little bit shocked, but he is able to get up.
ICE agents getting Thunder God capabilities wasn't on my bingo card. But after seeing what's happening in Europe,
I'm all for this. I am really all for this.
I guess I'm less shocked than Gaia.
You know, I didn't think he was going to say that. Because in my head, when they were talking about shocking it's funny. Someone can do whatever they want in life. They shock one dog, and now they're only known for ever doing that. Because he's talking about shocking, and then that popped into my head. Oh my gosh. Career can easily be destroyed by one act. But yeah, I mean, it's insane. There's nothing wrong with wanting to protect your borders. I believe every nation should have controlled borders. I believe people should honestly be encouraged to travel, be encouraged to see other nations, be encouraged to see other ways of life. But you can't do it by illegally infiltrating a nation. Well, illegally being accepted into a nation is what Spain is going through and a lot of nations are going through. Why? Just focus on your people. Allow people into your nation via visas, if anything, like in the American process. Anyone who knows, it is an absolute headache. The American visa process. One of the worst, at least the worst I have ever had to go through. Like getting my Indian visa, I got it for, I could get a 5-year qualifier. It took me $80 and one application. And it's done. It was done. For my wife's visa, it's going to take probably 4 years. We've had to pay huge sums of money about 4 times now. We've had several meetings, interviews, calls. We've had to submit several pieces of paperwork over and over and over again. It is just insane. Absolutely insane. We need a complete overhaul of the visa process in the United States of America. Streamline it. Make it much easier. We'll honestly need to overhaul our entire judicial system because we need to have it to where cops can punch in one person's name, one license plate, and see the entire track record of that person throughout the nation. Not just that county, not just that state, but the entire nation. And not only that, there should be a registry for people and their names to be put on for the world to see. So that way, if a moron from the United States of America who has a track record of doing criminal history travels to Canada, they detain him in Canada, they run his name, they find out he has a criminal history in America, they're more worried and more at risk. Or they're less likely to give that retard a visa because they can check his name in the system. At least that's how I feel. It does seem like there's going to be more oversight, but the thing is, sadly, we're getting to that point. We're getting to that point where we have to have more oversight in order for those of us who are at least civilized human beings to have more freedoms. Because we feel like the barbarians are the ones given all the say. The barbarians are given everything. I work hard. But because we have so many barbarians in the nation, all my tax dollars, and I'm getting taxed more than ever, are going to the barbarians because we have way too many here. And I'm kept below the poverty line. Have you ever committed a crime? Any crime? Even a small one? No. Never committed any crime.
You guys got a video?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, wait on that.